Welcome back, everybody. This is Businesses Building Bridges, affectionately known as B3. I'm Diane Campbell. I'm the owner of Boney Booties Beach Rentals. That's one. Two is Flagler Electric Bike Rental. And three is Tree Trends that my husband and I do in our garage as a woodworking hobby and business. But I am here today with my favorite co-host, my only co-host, Miss Shara from Sift and Sort.
Hello, as I sift and sort through Diane's businesses. I have just the one. It is a downsizing and organizing business, helping people simplify their lives. And today we have Christine and Sean Haney. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So we are talking today about waves of hope. But before we get into that, what do you guys do for a living?
Well, I'm a realtor in Palm Coast with Florida Homes Realty and Mortgage. And I just basically help buyers and sellers navigate through the real estate process.
There's a lot of that going on
There
here.
is, and
Yes.
it's growing, and I'm expecting it to get a little busier.
Okay.
And then my husband, Sean Haney.
Hey, so I work in a power plant and make electricity, and that's pretty much it.
Oh, I'm
That's-
sure
there's
there's
a
more
lot
to
more
that.
to it.
There is a lot more to it.
Like,
but
that's it.
It's
Just a rocket scientist.
What power plant is that?
it's the Seminole Electric in Palatka.
Okay. My dad was a fire protection engineer for power plants. So,
Well, he likes
He and I would have had lots of time.
I bet, yes.
but he likes to say he boils water.
I
and
boil
a
water
lot
for
of
that.
Uh-huh. So the Haneys,
Yes.
tell us about Waves of Hope and how that got started.
So it came to fruition. I have a colleague in my real estate business that ran a very successful nonprofit in Georgia for many, many years. And he closing his business down and wanted to pass the torch. Well, of course, we're tailoring it to our personalities and to our passions. And we decided that Waves of Hope would help veterans, seniors, individuals with disabilities, low income, to support their pets so they don't run into a hardship and feel they have to surrender their animal because they can't afford to feed them. An emergency vet bill pops up.
I have seen this more than I care to.
Yes.
In various entities on social media and places, they have to give up. And I may even have two rescues in my home that were given up from elderly situations or other trauma. But in any event, I think that's a great way to alleviate some of the emotional stress on the person who has that pet
Absolutely.
owner.
I have, family members, very close family members that would buy food for their animal, but they would nibble on bits, in their refrigerator and not buy groceries for themselves because they were feeding their animal. And I have many stories that I've heard or seen with vet bills and, food, because food is expensive.
It
The dog
is.
food these days, a decent
That too, yeah,
quality.
yeah.
And, in order to feed your animal a good quality food, it breaks the bank.
Mm-hmm. So how does someone find you when they're in a situation or they hear of a situation where a person is struggling to take care of their pet?
Well, we have our website, which is wohf.net.
Wolf.net.
I know,
I got it,
Yep,
wolf.net.
WA, and that was not on purpose.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it just
kinda
happens.
happened. And,
Mhm.
that's the beauty of these types of things when it's meant to be. Everything just falls in place
Exactly.
and all these little cute things just pop up. But we have our website, and there is a tab on our website that explains if you need help. But currently, we are in our first year of the nonprofit. We are in the process of applying for grants and raising funds so that we can be established to help. the
That's not an
community.
easy thing.
It's not.
I've dabbled in that a little bit in the past, but there's a lot to it.
And my colleague, Stephen Curcio, Florida Homes Realty and Mortgage, closing out his nonprofit, he generously donated our startup funds. And he also donated our items for our fundraiser that we are collaborating with Palm Coast Lions Club.
Yeah.
I wanna
So
go
important.
rewind
Okay.
of why you even thought of starting this organization.
Well, so my story that really hits home with me, my father was a vet, a Vietnam veteran, double amputee, had Agent Orange, was a mess. And, I remember this strong man that, just go out and just get it done. And through the years, the Agent Orange affected his body in one way or another, domino effect, led to amputee, wheelchair bound. And I ended up moving him close to me to care for him in the last years of his life. He had mentioned to me, I think I want to get with the VA to see if I could get an animal, a dog. Uh, and I hate it now, but I kind of discouraged him to do it because I had a young family. Me and my husband had 3 children. I had 3 cats at the time, 2 dogs. We had birds, and I'm serious about taking care of my pets. So it was just one of those. On top of adding his care and his needs into that equation, I discouraged him. And I'm like, so you realize that you're not going to be able to really care for the animal because of, you're in a wheelchair. So I discouraged him because it would have been a struggle.
I would not put that as a negative term, though, and I know that you do, and you need to turn that around because
Yeah.
if that did not happen, we wouldn't be sitting here right
This
now.
is true.
You have your merch on, which I've
Yes.
noticed, never walk
Never
alone,
walk alone.
which is your slogan.
Yes.
But I really think you need to embrace that because
Yes.
now you can help God only knows how many others in a situation like that because of what you went through.
Right. And the idea of Waves of Hope began because my colleague Steve Curcio, who had his successful nonprofit, he started his because his brother was diagnosed with cancer. He was only given a very short time to live. I can't remember the exact amount, a year maybe. So he has a funny story to tell that they went and picked out the ugliest chihuahua that you could have ever seen.
Funny
And
story.
he loved that chihuahua, and that chihuahua gave him like 4 or 5 more years
It's
because
quality
he
of
woke
life.
up to care for that
Yeah.
that animal. Which, of course, when he passed on, Steve took on the animals. The animal ended up outliving the brother, but just that drive to get out of bed, and that's
Right.
our pets. And many people have their animals that draw them up and that get them going. And
It gives them purpose.
exactly.
Sean, what role do you play in this particular nonprofit?
I lift heavy stuff.
You lift heavy stuff.
Yeah.
No, I
No,
bet you're
really.
supportive of your wife
Yeah,
as
he
well.
I am
is.
very supportive.
Yes.
He is.
Of her. In everything that she does, I
He
try
is.
to support her as much as possible.
So, take me into the room of the conversation that you had to say, yes, we're going to do this.
Not even hardly an issue at all. It's whenever she said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this," and I said, hey, "Sounds good to me. I like it." I'm a veteran myself from the U.S. Navy, and I understand how veterans are looked at in the society. And there are people who have given a whole lot to this country, and whenever they come home, maybe that animal is what keeps them going. We've got a neighbor who just lost his service dog, and I want to try to go down and talk to him about how maybe we can help him get another one, because he's a double amputee. That dog was obviously his world,
Right.
and this just recently happened, and that's one of the things I want to try to get down there with him and see what we can do to maybe help him. That's
Yeah.
the kind of thing that I want to see to where we can help people.
So I hear the passion behind the
Yes.
reason for, and thank you for your service. I believe that a nonprofit like this is really, really going to help people.
And I think coming from a vet yourself, knowing that what an animal can do to suppress the PTSD that God only knows that a lot of veterans go through. Because my husband is also a vet.
Fortunately, I didn't experience any of that. I don't have any PTSD from the military, but I do know people that do, and I know how they interact with their animals, and they really have, that's their best friend. That one's never going to leave them. It's never going to
Judge them.
be bad to
Exactly.
them. It's never going to run off with their girlfriend. That is their best friend.
Right.
And that is so powerful for them, that is some entity that they love. And that gives them reason to, as you were saying earlier, to not, a reason to get out of bed, but also it gives them a reason to not commit suicide,
Hurt
or
themselves.
hurt themselves. And just giving somebody something to love, giving them a mission. Their mission is to take care of that animal. That's their friend. That's where I see this helping a lot of people.
Well, and then with, the way the economy is, like with seniors, they're on fixed incomes. Things happen with our animals, and
A senior living
Yes.
alone with a fixed income and
Yes.
having a pet. I mean, I have
A
two dogs.
companion,
I have
yes.
two dogs, and we love those little critters because
absolutely.
they know us.
Yeah.
They know us. They're in our routine. They're in our habits. They're happy to see you all the time. All the time.
So, Christine, I mean, besides the financial hardship of some of this, which I know you want to raise funds for,
Yes.
do you plan on also getting volunteers to go over, like somebody like your father who wasn't able to walk them, or take them to, getting people that will volunteer their time to physically help as well?
Well, we want to branch out and not just helping with funds for the emergency care, maybe even help out with some grooming. Maybe because grooming is expensive. We also want to be a place for resources, like what's out in the community that may be able to assist an individual's needs if they need someone to walk their animal. They have dog walking services, but sometimes people can't afford those services. If
Absolutely.
they have, if they have to go into the hospital or go visit a family member, they can't take their pet with them. They would need a pet sitter. So we want to cover all aspects of individuals' needs when it comes to their animals.
That is
Because
so
our
fantastic.
animals are just, I love animals. They're our best.
Well, they're better than people, as that
Yes,
expression
yes,
says, again,
yes.
because they are just unconditionally loving, and
Yeah.
it's a shame how people treat them. That's a
Yes.
whole nother topic, but
And I, to give them those resources to where they don't feel alone. They have somewhere to go to get help when they need it. And of course, there's going to be certain things that they would need to, qualify for. They would have to show, and we're still working out all of the, the application process, what type of documents, what type of, levels of income.
what their
But
needs would be.
Yes, based on their needs. But they would have to qualify. So
Would you also work with the local shelters to, retrieve or adopt a dog for these individuals?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We were, if a member of the community lost an animal or they were looking for a new companion, we would, develop a relationship with the local shelters, maybe even the rescues, like the, I know there's the bumper bulldogs, that
They're
have certain like breeds. It's a breed rescue, and then maybe pair them up with a breed that they would like,
I love
or
that.
help them with adoption fees at the Humane Society, that sort of thing.
It's
Any
fantastic.
vaccinations.
And spaying and
Yes,
neutering and all
absolutely.
that.
So you're about a year old, is that correct?
We are 6 months in.
Okay, and so take us through the way that you start this nonprofit, and how are you raising money currently?
So, like I said, we started with the generous donation, the seed money, just applying for the proper licensing. We are tax deductible, so we're all set
You're
up.
501c3.
We are 501c3, so it's tax deductible. We basically have just started with a lot of the administrative side of it right now, getting our marketing together.
He's laughing over there because he.
The shirts.
I
yeah.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, getting our
Yeah.
marketing together, business.
But it is,
cards.
again, like starting a business.
It
Absolutely.
is. It has to be managed almost more intensely.
Yes.
Because of a lot more eyes are watching a nonprofit.
Yeah.
We don't want to get too far out over our skis and
Right.
not be able to deliver on what we're working on.
Exactly.
The things y'all were just talking about are
Yeah.
things that we have had conversations about, but haven't really let it out yet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So-
things where we'd like to go.
Well, you want to perfect one thing at a time before you
Right.
take on a whole nother initiative and you can't fulfill the original mission.
We want to, provide a good look. Like, when you open up a business, a storefront, you want to have a nice sign, you want to have it painted pretty, you want to have all your nice stationaries, et cetera, et cetera. So we're doing it out of our home, but our presence is social media.
Right, right.
So I'm trying to build that back in. I do all of my own social media. I'm doing all of my website building, everything, all the design I did have Shara help with
Oh, she's
amazing.
wonderful at doing
Shara
that.
did help with
Yes.
our logo. She was
Thank
wonderful.
you for shouting that out. I
Yes,
appreciate
yes. So
that. It was great. It just needed a little finesse.
a little tweaking. Yeah.
And now it's just perfect.
I think
She
so.
has a way of sifting and sorting to
She
get
does.
the right thing.
She
Boom.
does, absolutely.
Snuck that one in there.
But speaking of fundraising, if you want to get into our little collaboration real quick.
Yeah. So Shara and I met through Steve. He's been kind of the guiding. He's kind of guided me.
Common
through.
denominator
Yeah.
there.
He's like the
Introduced-
GPS system.
Yes, and he introduced us, and it was a great fit, and we hit it off right away, and decided. And he donated the items for the fundraiser, so we teamed up with Shara and the Palm Coast Lions Club to have the fundraiser. And
Do you want to go into the items and when and how and
Yeah, so what I want to know is if you need expertise on XYZ, and there's businesses out there that want to donate their time and or expertise to that, are you open to that? Obviously,
Absolutely.
okay.
and we want to start, our kind of, it's a needle in a haystack. You got a lot going on, so we're wanting to hone in on the veterinarians, because we feel like they would be such a strong
partnership?
with
We'll have
that's
to have
the big
a vet
thing.
on this podcast.
Yeah, that is a big thing with animals. It's a vet bill. So
And it is connections. I mean, I know Diane knows a pet sitter. Maybe she'd be willing to donate some of her time or
even a groomer that would be willing to donate a grooming service
All my
for.
ideas out.
There's a ton of resources that can be tapped into once they know you're there.
Right.
To find you is the biggest challenge, and that is where you're at now.
Which is a blessing to partner with Shara and the Palm Coast Lions Club, because I feel like this is our grand reveal.
Right.
We're stepping out. Here we are, everyone.
yeah, here's the longest standing nonprofit in Flagler County collaborating with
With the
something.
youngest.
With
Almost.
the
With the young-
baby, yes,
I mean, that's how it's supposed to be, right?
yes, absolutely.
But tell everyone about the raffle and
So
what the items are.
We have 3 items. So the first prize is a beautiful diamond tennis bracelet, which is a
Wow.
$1,500 value. We have item 2, which is a 75-inch big screen TV, flat screen TV. Then item 3 is a 9.5-foot blow-up projector screen with a projector, and that's a mouthful.
Wow.
So trying to get the projector
so
screen
3
out.
really great prizes.
Yes.
They are really nice.
And for $10 a ticket,
Yes.
you can win any one of those items.
And you could buy 3 for $30 and you have 3 chances to win.
There you go. That's
That
easy.
drawing, by the way, will be on May 6th,
Yes.
live on Facebook. We will pull the winning top 3 tickets.
It will be on the Palm Coast Lions Club Facebook page.
Thank you.
Yes,
For
at
that.
6 p.m.
Okay.
on May 6th.
May 6th.
Yes.
That's unbelievable. So there has been a lot of entities that are working together, trying to make this happen and bring exposure to
Right.
all of us equally.
Can you share a story from either Steve's experience with the nonprofit and or yours that you've been able to assist a person with their pet?
Well, we have Steve has told me a lot of his success stories that stirred me into taking the torch. Many of his in his community in Georgia for many years, would be a scenario to where there would be an emergency situation with an animal, and the veterinarian would call up Steve and say, "Hey, we just had this X-rays. X-rays are, I think, they are close to $500, $800
Right.
just for X-rays." So and he would cover a portion of it or all of it, depending on. So we're trying to uh, we're trying to bring that into ours, but tailor it to our personality, our community, because Palm Coast is so much different than Georgia.
Where
So
in
we're
Georgia
trying
was
to
it?
get our foot. It was Peachtree City,
Okay.
Atlanta area. So we're trying to get our footing with what the needs are in this community.
I'd
That's the
imagine-
hardest part, I think.
Right. You have to have, this area has its own identity.
Yes.
Peachtree City, it has a large retirement community there as well. Maybe a little bit busier than Palm Coast.
Well, I have, a lot of just personal stories that I can think of with family, friends, just where something would happen with their animal and they had to rehome the animal or surrender it. One, and that's just heartbreaking. And then I had one instance that sticks out in mind, a senior, a close family friend. She was, an older woman on fixed income, cute dog. She brought the dog to family get-togethers, because we kind of, sometimes adopt people into our family get-togethers.
Yep.
So it was that type of situation. She brought the dog, and the poor thing had diarrhea, and it was matted in the back of the fur. She didn't realize it. So maybe, back then, I think, maybe if I would have had a way to help her get the dog groomed, I could mention, "Hey, do you need help?" Because there was no way she could have groomed that
Yeah.
dog herself.
Right.
I actually have a local lady that I've been dealing with. I haven't heard from her in a while, but I think I should reach out to her. Her husband passed away a long time ago, and she just never really got over it. She started to let herself go and the entire house, and was unable to care for her animal. She wound up going to the hospital, and they called animal control and took the dog away. And if that house was not clean, they were not giving her dog back. And she did anything and everything she could
For the dog.
to get that house clean, to get that, because that dog was her life.
Well,
And I think she probably would have committed suicide, honestly, if she wasn't able to get that dog back.
Well, we all know, animals with the different types of fur, physically, it's sometimes.
And it was a poodle, so God only
Yes.
knows what this thing looked like.
Physically, to try to groom, personally, I groom my animals, but physically, for someone who has arthritis or who's disabled, to try to keep up with their
And even emotional
poor, it's-
distress.
If I could just, just give someone that relief, that we have a way to help you. Let's, maybe we can start with the grooming, and once we get the dog to a point where we can maintain and help you keep the dog healthy, because, skin issues. I mean, it's just a whole
I understand.
layer of issues that can come up.
I can see this bridging over into human-related services as well. I mean, there's right at home. If a senior is in distress and their pets are in distress, their home's in distress, they're not eating right, their health is ailing, it can easily go into
And that's why
the human side of
collaborating, I
healthcare.
think, having these bridges.
Right, we need the bridges to help
Resources.
each other.
Yes, and I'm so very grateful
Yeah,
that
so-
you guys invited us on.
We want to be able, that was the whole thing. We want to be able to bridge you to someone like Kathleen Rivera, who has right at home and works with seniors, to a vet, to a groomer, to somebody who needs organization, all of that. It's bridge. The bridges are going everywhere.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, so we need to help each other.
We
I just
do.
went, where did the waves come from, just out of curiosity? With the waves of hope.
Probably because we're, East Coast,
Okay.
close to the beach.
Okay.
You know, I'm all about hope, and I'm a very positive person just in general. So, and I love the ocean. I love being close to the beach. So, you know, when you think of waves coming in, it's, you know, what else, what's coming in with the wave next? What need is going to be needed next?
I love that.
Well, there's presented waves and storms and in calm seas. There's always something, and it's always changing with
Absolutely.
the waves and the tidal
Waves of hope. Yes.
waves of hope. So we see that we're almost out of time again. Told you it would go fast. What? How can our people get in touch with you?
So we have our website, which is wohf.net. That is going to be the best way for, you know, that if you want to learn a little bit about us, about our mission, about what we do, that would be the best place to start.
Are you looking for volunteers currently?
We are open to volunteers.
But you're in admin mode right now.
We are.
Yeah,
We are.
getting everything together.
And then also don't forget to buy tickets. You can go on the Palm Coast Lions Club page or Waves of Hope page.
Absolutely.
And
There's
find
the
links.
2026 community fundraiser tab on the top of the Waves of Hope Foundation webpage. You click on that, it takes you directly to the page that they can click to get
Purchase
to the
tickets.
Zeffy link to push the purchase
Fantastic.
tickets.
We
Yeah.
only have a few weeks left.
Yeah.
Get your tickets on.
Well, thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
And,
Thank you for having us.
you know, as you grow into this nonprofit, we'd love to have you back to see
would
what the
love to.
progress has happened. And I love dogs.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm always anxious to hear more.
Yes.
We would love to come back
Awesome.
and give you an update.
Awesome. Thank
Sweet.
you so much. All right.
Thank you.
There you go. That
There's
wraps
another
up
one.
Another episode of B3. Thank you for joining us today, Shara.
Yes.
Always a pleasure.
Always.
And we'll see you next time.